Pedals and effects. Here we are, 4 fuzzes. Could only mean one thing. You guys get to tell us which one you dig.
All right, Fuzz Wars, Friendly Fuzz.
Friendly. So it's
Friendly
not really
fuzz.
a war, it's a collaboration of sound.
Fuzz friends. Because all these people that make these are our friends.
I'm sure. They're our friends, and they're probably friends together. And one of the dudes I've known, actually, I've only met him once, but years ago. But I've known of him forever. Way huge, George Tripp. He made the Russian pickle. So he made a swollen pickle, which I've used a bunch. I love this fuzz. He decided to take on Sovtek fuzzes. We'll see where he's at with that. Here's the Russian pickle. Like that. Bluesy, syrupy.
So next is the Rabbit Hole Effects American, which is like just kind of a sensitive subject given the political climate, you know. Okay. But like we're all proud to be Americans. We just don't want to be jerk Americans. Because usually, like when I think America, it's like, you know,
Twerking Americans?
I guess, whatever.
Okay.
So the Rabbit Hole Effects American out of North Carolina. This thing's pretty cool. It's got a clean, this is a fuzz volume and a clean volume. So I actually was kind of weird on having any clean signal on a fuzz pedal before. That didn't really like register to my head. But when I played out of this pedal with the clean at NAMM, I guess, last January, I was pretty impressed with it. I thought it was a really cool idea. Whoa. There's this little switch right here that has like some lower octave action, and then there's a low cut, and then a volume, you know, pretty standard stuff. I think it's a pretty good sounding fuzz myself.
Rip it.
So the octave on the American is actually an octave up, like an Octavia sound, I noticed. So people.
All right, and then we got Rocket Surgeon. This is coming out of the Nordstrom pickup lab. They've always wanted to make pedals. They hit me up a long time ago saying, "What do you think of this? What do you think?" And I go, "You guys should do it because you guys make awesome pickups. Why not make a fuzz?" So this one, this is pretty simple. This is pretty simple. This has got a couple of little, different things that you can do with it. But what I know that even though this is only 3 knobs, so you basically have an overall volume, you have the lows, the highs, the serotonin mood altering fuzz. Here's the mood. But I've noticed that, man, the way these knobs work together gets you completely different tones. So it's not like this one is just distortion, volume, and tone. And it works kind of that way. This one, wherever you put these knobs, affects the fuzz completely differently. The gain stage is at the front, so you're going to hear that it just comes out of the gate, it's smashing, rip it. And also, just so you know, this is a fuzz, but they do make guitar pickups, but pretty much are primarily known for bass pickups. So that doesn't mean that this is a bass fuzz, it's just a rad fuzz.
Analogman. This is the first time we've ever had Analogman on pedals. and
First
effects.
time. I don't own anything that's modded by him or anything.
The thing, I think they're one of those companies where they have like crazy waiting lists for stuff. Not for the peppermint fuzz, but they have what's called the King of Tone. If you know that, you probably don't. It's a guitar pedal. A really, really nice overdrive pedal. But anyway, so I met these guys when I was in New York recently. And they were awesome, and they wanted us to check out their peppermint fuzz. So the funny thing about this is, yeah, it's a really simple kind of like 60s, whatever sounding, just kind of like, you know, classic fuzz, but there's no power, whatever.
But what?
It's battery style. So there's
Battery
actually
styles.
straight up like a little switch, what I think is really funny, or a little click. And they also recommend that you use shitty batteries for it. So, like, not a Duracell fresh off, like, the Home Depot rack. You'd want to go into, like your local deli and get the one that's, like, the no-name brand that's all dusty in the very, very back when the guy's like, you're like, I'll take that 9-volt battery. He's like, that's been there for 20 years. That's probably not going to work. You're like, no, that's what I want. So, yeah, Analogman Peppermint Fuzz with the on-off fucking click, which is pretty funny. I don't know how practical that is, but...
All good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's different. It makes it different, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So, ripping. Analogman! Sound like when they're all on.